Hi everyone! We are going a step larger this time. What you can see here is a 70 by 70 centimeter canvas, and for those of you who are not familiar with the metric system, this is 27.5591 inches. And this is a size which is a bit larger than I normally work on. You can see me working on our floor today. So I just covered it up with some plastic just to avoid any paint dripping on our floor itself, and I made some pinball pins underneath of the canvas so that it's elevated to the floor. This is something which I do with all the canvas sizes, just to allow some distance between the canvas itself and the ground or the table you're working on whatsoever, just to allow the drip of paint to drip off easily. This pour actually only contains 3 colors, which are among my most favorite colors. As you know, this is the gold, the blue and a white. I really love this color palette and it always looks kind of royal and gentle together. So this is my go-to version, and I want to experiment a bit more with a ring pour, because they seem to be so versatile, even more versatile than so many other techniques that I've shown you, that you have done yourself, that we all have seen somewhere else. So this is something I want to experiment with further, and this is the largest canvas which I've ever tried a ring pour on. I want to see what happens. So follow along and see what the result is going to look like. I want to have it somewhat marble effect. And when it comes to the final design, I did not really have anything in mind how I wanted it to look. I just wanted to see how the paints themselves react and how much I can tilt them and what effect I can achieve. So I basically mixed up all my paints and put them into my measuring jar. And when it comes to the mixing, as usual, I used about 2/3 of my acrylic binder, 1/3 of paint, and then the amount of water which I actually need to have them all at the same consistency. This always depends on the thickness of the original paint. So my Atina paints are rather thick, so I need always a bit of water to have them thin down to the consistency that I like. And in this pour here, I made them a bit thinner than I would usually work on, because I wanted to achieve the marble effect. If I have left the paints a bit thicker, I would have achieved more defined lines in between of all these colors, but I wanted them to intermix a bit just to get the marble effect. But as I really fell in love with this technique in general, more of those ring pours and what comes after them is going to happen in the future. So I will play around with the thicknesses of the paints anyways. So when everything was put in my jar, I just poured it onto the canvas, and you can see it here. I really did not have to speed up so much of it because it really went quickly. The entire process was done in about, I think, 15 minutes. So it really was a quick result. And of course you can take more time and spread the paint slowly and see what effect you can achieve. And for this one here, I really was just moving forward without any plan in my head. The only plan that I had was adding a base layer of white paint onto the canvas just to allow the paint to flow easier. This is nothing you really have to do. This also depends a bit on the amount of paint that you are pouring on there. So if you have measured your paint and you have the exact amount that you will need to cover the entire canvas, you might end up stretching the paints a lot. And the more you stretch your paints, the more unpredictable the look in general will become in the end. So I wanted at least have some paint on my canvas to make it easier for the paint poured on top of it to flow around, which I think I will do in the future as well. And to not talk the entire time, I just let you watch the process, and in the end we can discuss the outcome. So this is the result, and I really like the outcome of it. I like the marble effect. I really like the transition between the dark and the light colors, and I really liked how the gold came through. Perhaps it would have been cool if there was more gold onto this, but I like the entire design of it. So I'm really happy with the result. Of course, in the very end I'm going to show you a picture of the dried version as well, because I always do this. And I think it's a good thing to show the dried version as well. As you know, when these paints are going to dry, they look entirely different. And a side effect of this, of course, is that although the wet version looks really cute and pretty, the dried version oftentimes does not. This is the reason why I always like to show the dried version from my perspective, just to give you an impression how differently it looks. Yeah, and this is basically everything for this video. It's a bit shorter this time, but it was really nothing groundbreaking new that I was showing you in this video, and I really hope you like the video itself. You like the demonstration, you like the result, and of course I would really be happy if you give me a thumbs up if you did so. If this was the first video of mine that you've seen on my channel, I would be super happy if you would subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to not miss out any of my new coming videos, which is about 2 or 3 a week, covering topics like acrylic pouring, resin artwork, geodis, painting, drawing, whatever you can imagine actually. So I did so many videos already, and you have about 185 now to go. And yeah, if you have any questions, please as usual leave me below in the comment box, and I will be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. All my social media links as well as my Etsy store are also linked below in the description box, along with all the materials that I've used and that I regularly use. That's it for now. I thank you so much for your time, and other than that, I hope to see you in my next videos. Have a great day. Bye bye.